Hello lovelies! I'm so excited about this video today. I'm going to be sharing a collection with you that I have been looking forward to trying out for quite some time, and it is the Haunted Mansion ColourPop collection. Look at this packaging. It is so stunning, so beautiful. I've got the eyeshadow palette, some other products as well, so I'm so excited just to dive into these with you, take some swatches, try out this tutorial, show you this look that I've created today, and just really to be your ghost host for today. So I'm looking forward to creating a beautiful Halloween inspired fall kind of look with you, and I really just cannot wait to show all these products to you. So come along with me and let's make up the rules. I'd like to start out by just looking at all of the products, taking a look at the packaging, the colors, and taking some swatches, and then we'll get into our look for today. So we're going to start out with the eyeshadow palette. It is so pretty. It has a great reflect on it. It is absolutely gorgeous. On the back it has all of the shades and the shade name, and so we're going to go ahead and open this up. And so the palette comes in a cardboard box, and when you pull it out, it's got this cool "there's no turning back now," so that is really cool. It is a great nod to the ride and the perfect way to just take the palette out. There is no turning back now. We've got the palette in our hand, so we're going to go ahead and open this up. It's got a little protective film on it, and then it says beware here, and then these are our beautiful shades. They are so pretty, so I'm really excited to take some swatches and just take a look at all of these colors on the skin, and then I'm really excited to create an eye look with you today. So we're gonna go ahead and start out. The first shade is called The Bride from the Attic. So this one is a nice, just kind of iridescent white shade. It's got a nice glow. It'd be great for a highlight or an inner corner shade for sure. The next one is called Endless Hallway. And this one is really light. It's almost got a slight kind of gray or taupey shade to it. Very light on the skin. You can just barely see it there. I'm gonna wipe off some of my excess here. And then the next one is Ghost Host. This is a nice, bright, iridescent shade. It's almost got a little bit of maybe pink or purple reflect in it. That's really pretty. Just a very nice light shade. The next one is called Portrait Chamber. And this one looks like it's got a little bit more purple in it. Still a pretty light shade. It's really pretty though. The next one is called Seance Circle. It looks like it's going to be another shimmer shade, kind of a light, almost kind of champagne type shade. They're such beautiful shimmers. They really shine on the skin. They glow really well. The next one is called The Attic. This one's going to be a little bit darker. And that's a really nice kind of mauve sort of shade. The next one is called Psychic Medium. This one is one I'm really excited about. It's a really beautiful kind of pinky purple shimmer shade. Oh wow, look at how that catches in the light. That is so gorgeous. And then the next one is Hitchhiker, and this one has a beautiful ghostly blue shade to it. That is so pretty. It actually comes out more matte than I expected. I kind of thought it was going to be more of a shimmer shade, but it is a little bit more matte and just a little bit more wearable than I was kind of thinking it would be. So that one's really pretty. The next one is called Have a Stretch. This is a beautiful purple shimmer. That is gorgeous. The next one is Corridor of Doors. This is a nice kind of medium brown shade. I will say in my swatches I'm having a little bit of fallout, not too bad, it just kind of crumbles as I'm putting it on. So that's Corridor of Doors. The next one is called Grand Ballroom. This is more of a darker brown, kind of a gray brown shade. It has a little bit of glitter in it too, a little bit of a shimmer, so that's a really pretty shade. The next one is New Orleans. And this is just a nice dark brown shade. That is so pretty, and you can see my fallout there just a little bit. But I'm sure as I'm applying it with the brushes, it won't have nearly as much of that. It's just kind of crumbling as I'm applying it on my arm upright with my fingers. The next one is Ballroom Ghost. This one looks very interesting. Oh wow, that's different than I thought it would be. It kind of almost looks a little bit green in the pan, but when it applies, it's got, wow, a lot of shift to it. It looks like it's got some gray, some blue, some green. That is really pretty. The next one is called Graveyard Stroll. This is just a nice deep gray shade. That is gorgeous. And then the last one is called Hatbox. And this one looks like it's going to be a nice deep black with a little bit of shimmer in it, just to give it just a little hint of a glow when you see it in the light. So that is our swatch of the eyeshadow palette. It is so pretty. These are some beautiful shades. They go really well together. They perfectly capture the essence of the ride, of the movies that they've created. So this is absolutely stunning, so gorgeous. The shimmers in here are beautiful. The mattes are really nice and they look really deep and blendable and just able to go together really well. So I'm really excited to play with these on our eyeshadow look today. But let's go ahead and swatch the other products from the collection, and then we will get into our eyeshadow look. Along with the eyeshadow palette, this collection also comes with 4 Super Shock eyeshadows, and so they come in some gorgeous packaging. They are so shimmery and holographic and spooky. They are perfect for this Haunted Mansion collection. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these out of the boxes, and we'll take some swatches and see how they look. Each of the Super Shock shadows come in just a cute little container that looks like this. They are absolutely great packaging. I love this blue shade to match the Haunted Mansion. And then they also have their logo right here for the Haunted Mansion as well. So they just screw the lids off of the top. And then this is what it looks like on the inside. This is the lightest Super Shock shade in this collection. It is called Creepin'. It is a really pretty, just light iridescent shade. So I'm just gonna grab some on my finger. It is really pretty, very iridescent, very light and ghost light. So I'm gonna just make sure I've got some, and I'm gonna do a little swatch on my hand. And let's see if we can see that. Just a little bit. It definitely is very light, just a light little shimmer. Let me see if I can pick up a little bit more and get it really Super Shock and very, very bright and vibrant. Definitely just gives a little hint and a little glow. You can definitely see it as it catches the light. It's got just a little bit of a shimmer to it. So that's definitely, like I said, the lightest Super Shock. The other ones are a little bit darker. The next one is the darkest one. It is called Frightful. It almost looks like kind of a black shade in the pan. So I'm gonna pick some of this up. It's got a nice, just light, kind of buttery feel to it. It's almost kind of got putty on this one, kind of a putty feel. It's very dark, it's very pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this right beside the other one. That one is much more impactful, much more pigmented. That is really gorgeous. Just a nice, beautiful, dark, kind of black shade. The next one is called Eyeing You. This one is a beautiful, shimmery blue. I'm really excited to try this one out, so I'm gonna grab some on my finger. And wow, that is really, really pretty, very stunning. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my hand. And that is gorgeous. It's got a nice light shimmer to it. It is a beautiful blue shade. Very, very pretty, very pigmented. I'm gonna add just a little bit more, deepen it up. That is gorgeous. I love that they are a little bit buildable. You can do just a little bit, add just a little bit of color, or you can deepen them up and make them much darker. And then the last one is called Stare Down. This is a nice, beautiful purple shade. I'm gonna grab some of this and add it to my swatches. This one is really, really pretty. I'm very excited for, definitely the purple and the blue are the ones I was most excited about. And that is really, really stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. They catch in the light really well. So those are really, really pretty and definitely will make a great addition to any Haunted Mansion look you make with this collection. The next item in this collection I'd like to take a look at is the Glitterly Obsessed Body Glitter Gel. This is in the shade Madame Leota. It is so pretty. It is perfect just to have that nice, beautiful glow to match with her gorgeous crystal ball. She is just such a good character in the movies and in the ride, and so I'm really excited that they created an entire product just based on her. So you can see it's just a nice, beautiful glitter gel. I will say I took this one out the other day and just took a look at it when it came in the mail, and it's a little sticky. It's just kind of a little bit of a messy product. It's got a lid on the inside that you can keep, and it says on the top of it, "Keep me to lock the magic in." So definitely holding on to this little plastic lid helps to keep this nice and moist, and that way you can maintain your product as long as possible and make sure that the glitter doesn't dry up. So I'm going to hold on to that. And then this is the actual product. It is a little bit just kind of gooey and gel-like. So I'm gonna just grab a little bit of this. It's got some nice good chunks of glitter in it, and so that adds to just that Glitterly Obsessed, the glitter body gel. So it's just nice and light, and it gives a great shimmer. All of that glitter that's in it is really, really pretty. It says that it's not recommended for use around the eyes just because of the large chunks of glitter. If you decide that you feel okay with it and you are safe about it, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with putting a little around the eyes, but definitely not big blobs. Just using just a little bit of it to add some shimmer, but you can always put some, across your collarbone, on your cheek, some places that you just want to have some nice little pops of shimmer and glitter. Of course, it would be great for concerts or parties or things like that. Maybe not an everyday wear, but it's definitely really pretty and adds just a nice glow to any look that you're creating. And then the last products in this collection are going to be the Ultra Matte Lips. These come in such cute packaging with the hitchhiking goes. They come in just a nice little ladder of the three, so they look great together. There are 3 different shades. There is Hitch a Ride, Summon Spirits, and Beware. So there's a nice kind of plum, kind of fall color, a nice deep brown, and then more of a nude lip. So I'm really excited to take some swatches of these. They are absolutely stunning, beautiful packaging. I love this iridescent glow on all of the packages. It is so pretty. So we're gonna go ahead and take some swatches. The first one that we're gonna look at is Beware. It is that nice, beautiful matte shade. It comes with a beautiful blue top. It's got that nice Haunted Mansion logo on it, the ColourPop logo, and it just says Ultra Matte Lip on there. So we're gonna go ahead and take a swatch of this. When I did open it the other day, I noticed they smell really good. They have kind of a nice, almost chocolatey smell, a kind of candy smell. So this is the matte shade. I'm gonna go ahead and take a swatch on the back of my hand. And that is a beautiful, beautiful shade. Really, really pretty, nice and deep and dark for the fall, but also a good nude just to kind of go with any look that you put together. Really, really stunning shade. The next one is called Summon Spirits. This is this nice, deep, dark, chocolatey brown shade. And this one, we noticed, kind of smells the most like chocolate. It has just a nice, good kind of cocoa smell to it. It is really, really pretty. Wow, look at that. That is a nice, deep, dark, chocolatey shade. It is perfect for the fall. This is a great fall collection. It is really, really pretty. And then the last lip color that we're gonna look at is called Hitch a Ride. It is a nice, deep, kind of burgundy plum kind of shade. Perfect, perfect for fall. So we're gonna go ahead and take one last swatch here. The applicators are really nice. They're soft and smooth. Everything goes on really well. And these lip shades are so pigmented. They are absolutely stunning. They are gorgeous on the skin. They're gorgeous in the package. I'm really excited to get to wear these and try them out maybe with some lip liners and really just create different looks. But honestly, I think they would go on great even without a lip liner. They are very soft, very smooth, and they are very pigmented. So I think they're gonna look great on the lips. So those are all of our swatches. I am so excited about this collection. I'm even more excited now that we've taken the swatches, gotten to see all of these beautiful shades on the skin, and I cannot wait to go ahead and put together an eye look with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean these off, and then we are gonna go ahead and jump into our tutorial for today. Alright, so I went ahead and primed my eyes with my Ulta Beauty Pigment Pop Eye Primer. So I'm ready to go ahead and start adding these beautiful eyeshadows. So I've got the eyeshadow palette here. I'm going to go in with an Ulta Beauty Large Fluffy Blending Brush. And I'm going to start right here as a transition shade. I'm going to use Endless Hallway. And just grab a little bit of this on my brush. When I did my swatch earlier, it was a very, very light shade. So like I said, this is just going to be just a very light transition shade just to kind of help dip our toes into this palette and just get a little bit of pigment and a little bit of color on the eye. I'm not expecting a lot of payoff, but just a little bit. It does have a little bit of fallout even just in the pan. As I'm grabbing some of it, it kind of crumbles just a little bit. So just definitely being careful, just trying to keep all of the colors separated. But definitely they have great pigment to them, so I'm really excited to just dig into all of these colors and get to just try out this palette. So we're getting just a very, very light shade, especially because I have that Pigment Pop Eye Primer on already. You can see just a little bit of a darkness just to go ahead and get us started. The next one I'm going to use is this one right here called Portrait Chamber. It's going to just help to start deepening things up just a little bit, just a nice kind of light purpley shade. And I'm going to go ahead and go all over my crease with this shade. Just go ahead and start deepening and darkening things up. This is such a beautiful palette. It perfectly fits the Haunted Mansion theme. I'm absolutely in love with this color story. It captures the darkness and the kind of moodiness of the ride and of the movie. I definitely think they did an amazing job. Haunted Mansion is definitely one of my favorite rides at Disney World. It is so classic, it is so much fun, and it's absolutely just such a great nod to that ride. So we've got that shade. We can definitely start seeing a little bit more of that purple pop in. It is definitely getting a little bit more pigmented, and we're going to continue to deepen that up. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade right here called the Attic. Got a little bit of a pink and a little bit of a purple, and that's kind of what I'm going for with this look. Just trying to get just some really pretty light shades on the top of my eyes. And just kind of blending this in right on the edge of my crease, maybe kind of towards the center of the crease and in this outer corner of my eye, just really starting to kind of deepen and smoky things up on that outer corner. And I'm finding that it's a little bit easier to tap the pigment onto my brush instead of kind of pulling on it or scraping it out of the pan, because that seems to cause them to kind of crumble a little bit. So definitely just being gentle with it and just kind of tapping the pigment on to your brush. It's definitely picking up a lot of pigment. You can see it as you're applying to the eye, but definitely it's a little bit of an easier process just to go ahead and just kind of do little taps. Alright, as we're continuing to deepen up that outer corner, I'm going to go into this shade right here, Corridor of Doors, and just tap a little bit of that onto my brush. And I'm going to be very light-handed because I definitely don't want to cover up any of those pink and purple shades that we have. Just picking up a little bit on my brush and going into just that very outer corner. And we can definitely start seeing it's deepening up. It's got a nice very light kind of smoky effect to it, so it's really, really pretty. The colors are working together really well and blending beautifully. To continue deepening up, I'm going to go into this gray shade, Graveyard Stroll, and pick just a little bit up. That's very pigmented. You can definitely see it when it grabs on the brush, so I'm probably going to only dip just one or two times in the pan for both eyes, and again just continuing to layer and blend and deepen up that outer corner of my eye. And that is such a pretty shade. It is absolutely stunning. And definitely it kind of took it from brown to gray on the eyeshadow look, which I really like that, but I do want to go a little bit more on the brown side. So I am going to deepen it up now with Norland, this nice beautiful deep brown shade. And this one is very pigmented as well. It doesn't take a lot to pick some up on your brush. And just go ahead and blend it in. And I'm not cleaning my brush in between grabbing the shades. I've got a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to kind of wipe that off. Not cleaning off my brush in between shades. I want everything to be nice and blended together. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep applying and deepening things up, and it is really creating a nice, beautiful, smoky effect that is absolutely gorgeous. Those are beautiful shades. They are so pretty together, so pigmented. I really am happy with how this look is turning out. Of course, now that we've kind of got all of our dark matte on the outer corner, I do want to lighten things up on the inner part of my eyelid by adding some shimmers, and there are an endless number of shimmers to choose from in this collection between the palette and the Super Shock shadows. So I'm probably going to use a few different shimmers on probably the top of my eyelid and underneath, just so we can use as many colors as possible and really create a very stunning, very eye-catching look. So I'm really excited about the mattes and how well they're blending, and let's go ahead and prime our eyes and get ready to add some shimmer. So I went ahead and primed just my eyelids with my NYX glitter primer just to go ahead and get ready for these beautiful shimmers that we're going to add. So I'm going back into the palette, and I think for the center part of my eyelid I want to use this nice pinky purpley shimmer color, Psychic Medium. So I'm going to just pick some of this up on my finger, and I'm going to go ahead and just apply this right here on the center of my eye. And that is so pretty. These shimmers are absolutely stunning. They add such a beautiful shimmer and glow. And I'm so excited just to blend these in with those mattes and really just see how it just takes kind of a dark look that we had going on and just adds so much light and life to it. It really just adds a soul or a spirit to the look. So this is such a pretty shade. Just kind of tapping this right here on the inner part of my eyelid, and that adds just such a good glow to this look. I do want to blend it with some shimmer a little bit more as I'm going into that dark smoky look. So I'm going to go into this one right here, Have a Stretch, and again just picking it up with my finger, and I'm going to just kind of tap that right in between that shimmer that we added and the mattes on the outer corner, just to add a little bit more of a transition and just create a nice flow across the eyelids. So that's definitely helping to kind of deepen and darken as we're going to the outer corner and into those mattes and that smoky look that we had. It really just kind of smokes out the shimmer on the edges. That is beautiful. They are working together very nicely. It is super pretty. The next shade that I'm going to go into as I'm going more into my inner corner is going to be Ghost Host. This one, as we did the swatches, we saw it kind of had a little bit of sort of a pinky purpley shift to it, and so I'm thinking that's going to go really nicely with these other two shimmers that we added, and just add a little bit of an extra glow as we're going to the inner corner and starting to lighten things up. And that is really pretty. Those go together so nicely. They're all just blending together really well, creating such a beautiful look. So I'm going to just gently tap some of this into that inner part of my eye, and just add just a little bit of lightness and a little bit of a glow. And I'm mostly just tapping it onto my eye so I can get the best payoff and the best pigment from these shimmers. So that is so pretty. And those are blending together really nicely. I definitely don't want to overpower this beautiful Psychic Medium shade, so I'm going to go back in and pick a little bit of that up and just kind of tap it back into the middle, just to make sure that it still shows up, it doesn't get overshadowed or overpowered. So they're blending together so beautifully. They are so pretty together. It absolutely just elevated this look from those mattes that we had and just added such a beautiful shimmer. I do think I want to go in with one of our Super Shock shadows just to add a little bit more of a pop to this look and just to be able to try out as many of the products as we can. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and go in with that purple shade that it was called Stare Down, and I'm going to go ahead and pop this open, and I'm going to add just a little bit on top of that Have a Stretch shade. Just not a lot, just a little bit, just to try it out and be able to kind of blend that in. So I'm just going to tap that right in here and add just a little bit deeper of a purple shade. just to blend everything together. That is so pretty. These shades are so gorgeous. I love that all of the Super Shock shades just go so well with the palette. Everything is just very blendable together and really seamless. So they definitely did a great job with the color story, not just within the palette, but within the collection as a whole, so that everything just really goes together and all just creates such a cohesive look. So I'm loving how this looks. I want to start moving down into my lower lash line and start maybe playing with some of those darker shades, the blues and blacks and grays, and really create more of a dimensional look with this eyeshadow tutorial. And again, just be able to try out as many shades as we can. So for my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with just a flat eyeshadow brush from Ulta Beauty collection, and I'm going to go into this darkest shade down here, that Hatbox shade, and I'm going to grab just a little bit of this on the end of my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and wet this with some setting spray so we can really get the best pigment and color payoff as possible. And I definitely want it to try to hold on to those little particles of glitter and have just a little shine on the eyelid as well. So I'm going to just connect this kind of outer third of my lower lash line to the outer shades that we have from before on the top and in that outer corner. So I'm just going to very gently just kind of blend this into that outer part of my eye and just kind of deepen and darken up the lower lash line. So you can see that adds just a little bit of a smokiness and just a little hint of color to the bottom of the lower lash line. So just very gently going in and just kind of tapping that in. I don't want it to be too strong or too intense, but I just want a little bit of a deep shade, and then we're going to lighten up as we go towards the inner corner of the eye. This is such a pretty shade. It's just a nice deep black. Of course, you can't have a Haunted Mansion collection without a nice deep black shade. I love that it has a little bit of glitter in it too, kind of that ghostly effect with it. So it is really, really stunning shade, and it is blending really nicely into this outer corner. And I'm just going to kind of blend it up just a little bit into that so that it all just kind of flows and is cohesive together. And so now that I've got that deeper shade on the outer corner, I did want to add a little bit of a lighter shade more towards the middle of my lower lash line. I'm just going to wipe off my brush just a little bit onto a clean cloth, and then I'm going to go in with this nice beautiful blue shade. It's called Hitchhikers. It is really, really stunning. So using that same brush, I did clean it off. I'm going to go ahead and just tap into that shade, pick some up on the brush, and doing the same process, I'm going to go in with my setting spray and just give it a little spritz, and then I'm going to go in to that second third of my lower lash line, just tapping it in, same process, just a little bit right here in the middle part, and I'm going to blend it into that Hatbox shade on the outer corner as well, just really creating a nice stunning look. Picking a little bit more up on my brush, give it another spritz, and doing the same thing on the other eye. That is so stunning. Those look beautiful together. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe off my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and pick one more shade to go as we are moving towards the inner corner of the eye along the lower lash line. And the shade I would like to use is Ballroom Ghost, this one right here on the bottom. I really like this one. When I swatched it, I thought that it had a really nice blue and green kind of reflect to it. So I am going to do the same process again. I'm just going to pick that up on my brush. It is such a pretty shade. I'm so excited to use this one. It looks so kind of unsuspecting in the pan. I didn't know it was going to be so pretty, but when I swatched it, it was actually one of my favorites. It just has such a beautiful shift and shimmer to it, and I think it's going to go really well with this kind of ombre effect that I'm creating across the lower lash line, going from black to blue to kind of a blackish, bluish, greenish kind of shade. So it is just really, really pretty. I'm just tapping this all the way across that last third of my eye and just really connecting it into that Hitchhiker shade, blending everything together. I think the blues are going together seamlessly, and then the green has its own kind of glow and kind of eerie pop to it as well. So that is so pretty. Those are going together so stunning. Gonna go ahead and again do the same thing on the other eye. Just tapping it in and blending it into that other shade. It is so pretty. I love that, you know, I have kind of a different vibe going on the top of my eye versus the bottom of my eye, but I feel like it all just goes together so well. This palette really has such a good color story and all the colors blend really nicely. And I just think it all really looks very, very pretty together. So this is just such a stunning look. It's got a nice, beautiful pinky purple on the top, kind of a dark blue, green, kind of grungy shades on the bottom, but it really just complements each other so well, looks so nice together. So I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. Of course, I do again want to just keep using all of the things that I can from this collection. So I'm going to go in with a couple of the Super Shock shadows and just kind of add a little bit of these just for the fun of it. This is that blue shade called Eyeing You. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this, just kind of blending into that Hitchhiker shade, just kind of tapping it with my finger, and just to add a little bit more depth and a little bit more color and pigment, because why not? We got them, it's fun, and we do want to try everything else. So we're just going to go ahead and just tap a little bit of this in, just right there. That is really pretty. It definitely brought out the blue. It added a lot to it, I think. So that was really, really pretty. And I do also, just because we can, I'm going to go in with that Frightful shade and kind of add this on top of that hat box and just kind of deepen up that outer corner and add just a little bit more black. So I'm just going in very gently and just tapping it on, kind of blending those together. This is a very deep, very pigmented shade, so I don't want to go too heavy-handed or too much. Just add a little bit into the outer corner. It's so pretty, adds so much depth and so much of a kind of smokiness to this look, and that was definitely what I was going for. I really wanted it to smoke out in the outer corner, and I think I've really achieved that effect. So it is so pretty. All these shades are so beautiful and so stunning together. So I'm really, really happy with how the outer corner is real dark, but the inner part is really light with all of the shimmers that we have. So it definitely has a really nice, just beautiful ombre effect all the way across the eyelid. And then to finish up with the eyeshadows, I do want to go ahead and add an inner corner glow. So I'm going to go in with just a little just detailing brush, and I think I'm just going to go in with this shade, The Bride, and just grab some of this gently on my brush, just a little bit, just to add into my inner corners. I do want it to have a nice pop and glow, so I am going to go back in with that setting spray, give it a couple little spritz just to help really bring out that pigment, and just wet the brush. And I'm just going to go right here on the inner corners and just tap some of that in, grab just a little bit more, make sure we've got a nice good pigment to it. And I'm going to pull it up just a little bit into my crease, just kind of make sure everything looks blended and it's not just a little glob of white in the middle corner, in the inner corner. So just kind of blending that in. That is so pretty. Look at the shine on that. Wow. That is such a stunning color. Of course, I do have one more Super Shock shade, so how could I not just use that last one? So I'm going to go in with that shade Creepin'. It is a nice light iridescent shade. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of this on my finger and just kind of tap it right there on top of the Bride shade. That is really, really pretty. And I do think I'm going to try to use this as a highlighter today. It is such just a light iridescent shade, so I'm just going to kind of tap some of this across my cheekbones just to add a little bit of a light glow to this look. I didn't really add highlighter earlier. I was kind of thinking about the palette and the collection, and I was thinking surely there is a nice light kind of ghosty shade that I could use for a highlighter out of this entire palette, and I'm thinking this Super Shock is the perfect one. So this is really pretty. Very, very light. I didn't want it to be a really heavy highlighter. I'm glad that it's just very, very lightly going on. I'm going to put a little bit down the bridge of my nose and on the tip of my nose. Kind of all the places I typically put highlighter. Just to add a little shimmer. Just catching the light. That is so pretty. I'm going to put a little on my chin. just kind of those high points that catch the light really well naturally, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tap in just a little bit just to catch the light as you know, you're going through life and you're just moving around in the light. It catches, you can even see right there, it just catches so beautifully. I'm gonna put just a little bit more on my cheeks because those are the parts that, I don't know, I particularly like to highlight. Yeah, just a little bit right here. That is really pretty. That was the perfect highlight for this look, so I'm absolutely really happy with how that turned out. And I think also, just since I'm at it and because there is so much darkness here, I'm gonna grab a little bit more of this Bride shade on my detailing brush. I'm just gonna put it right here along my my brow bone, just to lighten it. Oh yeah, that adds a lot. That really just kind of lightens up on the outer corner and goes so nicely with this look. So I'm just gonna kind of blend that into my brow bone on both sides. And I think that's probably it. I will say one other shade that I really want to use, so I'm just going to do it since we're here and we're trying this out, is the Seance Circle, that nice kind of pretty champagne type shade. So I'm going to grab just a little bit of that on my finger, and I think I'm just going to kind of tap it on top of this, add just a little extra glow to my eyelid, just because it's such a pretty shade and I just really want to try it out and use it. So I'm just going to kind of blend this all the way across those shades, and just not a lot. I don't want to overpower anything, but I just want a little bit extra shimmer, and I just really wanted to try that one out. This is such a pretty look. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I'm gonna step off camera. I'm gonna go ahead and add some eyeliner and some mascara, just kind of finish up the look, and then I'll come back, we'll finish up with some of our ultra matte lip, and then I'll share some of my initial thoughts about this collection with you. And here's the finished look with all of our eyeliner and mascara. For my eyeliner, I did a cat eye, and I went in with the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof waterproof liquid eyeliner. And then I also tightlined with some black in my upper waterline. I just used the Ulta Beauty Collection Automatic Eyeliner in matte black. And then for my lower waterline, I wanted to go in with some blue just to really pull from all of these beautiful blue shimmery shades that we have on the bottom. So I used the Ulta Beauty Collection Color Punch Automatic Eyeliner. This is in the shade Blissful Blue. It's a nice, beautiful light blue shade. I think it really pulled all the blues from the eyeshadow palette and really helped them to pop and glow on the bottom. And then for my mascara, I just went in with one of my favorites, the Tarte Man-Eater Waterproof Mascara. So I think this look turned out so pretty. It is so shimmery, so shiny. It's got some dark depth to it from those mattes and from that Hatbox shade, and also from our Color Shock eyeshadows. Everything just went together so beautiful, so seamlessly. I'm so happy with how this look turned out. And of course, to finish off this look, I do want to go in with one of the lip shades from this collection. They are all so pretty. These are beautiful, beautiful shades. We swatched them earlier. They are absolutely stunning, but of course I only have one set of lips that I can put with this look. So I think because there is so much color and so much pigment in the eyes, I am going to go with more of a nude shade. So I'm going to go with this one. It is called Beware. So I'm just going to go ahead and add, I think, a little bit of a brown lip liner, because I think these are going to go really well together. This is one of my go-tos for my lip liners. It's Ulta Beauty Collection Automatic Lip Liner in the shade Chocolate. So I'm going to go ahead and just line my lips with this, and then we'll add that matte lip color from the Haunted Mansion collection. So we've got our lip liner on, so now we're going to go ahead and go in with our Ultra Matte Lip. Again, this is the shade Beware, that beautiful kind of nude shade. That is so pretty on the lids. That is the perfect nude, perfect neutral. I'm going to add just a little bit more to the top. That brown lip liner was the perfect combo for this. That goes together so beautifully. I'm going to just kind of use my finger and just kind of blend just a little bit. That is stunning. Wow, look at that with the eyeshadow look. That is so pretty. I'm so happy with how this look turned out. I do want to share just some of my initial thoughts about this collection with you and just let you know just kind of what I think about it. So starting out with the eyeshadow palette itself, the packaging is spot on. It is so beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is shimmery. It is so pretty. And then on the inside, the color story I think is absolutely perfect. It is just the perfect shade to go with this Haunted Mansion look. It just really captures the essence of the ride, the movies, just that kind of dark, grungy moodiness with a little bit of light from the ghosts and the shimmers that they bring into the Haunted Mansion. So I think they did a fantastic job just capturing the essence of the movies and the ride with this collection. It is so beautiful. The shade names are spot on there, absolutely perfect. They go so well with each shade. I can understand why they picked the name to go with each color. So I'm really happy with the shade, the pigment, and the blendability. I think it creates such stunning look. I love that all of the colors just really went together so well. The pinks and purples and those dark shades all blending together so seamlessly with just kind of these blue shades. They're kind of unexpected pops in there, but they go together so nicely. They're so wearable on the eye. Even such kind of bold and dramatic looks or colors like these blues, they really just look very wearable when you put it all together. So I think that the pigment and the coloration are great. I will say I did experience a lot of fallout with this collection. You can see it's already my first time using it. I think you could probably even see just a lot of kind of crumbles and kind of mixture of a lot of the different shades just from using it. I tried to be careful. I tried to just kind of tap on the colors, but I did experience a lot of crumbling and a lot of fallout. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I know that I just need to be gentle and careful with this collection. I think the colors are so worth it. It is worth the payoff. It's worth the pigmentation that is in this collection. So to me, that's not a deal breaker. It's not a big deal, but just know that if you don't like a lot of fallout or you don't like a lot of crumbly eyeshadows, this might not be the palette for you, just because that is a little bit of an issue with it. But overall, I just thought this palette was absolutely stunning. I'm so happy with this look that I've created today. I think that the packaging with all of the ghosts, the Hatbox Ghost, and then the hitchhiking ghost on the back, it is so beautiful. They did an absolutely fantastic job just capturing the movie and the essence of the ride. And then for the Color Shock eyeshadows, I think these are beautiful. They go together so well with the eyeshadow palette. All of the colors blend seamlessly. They've got 4 different very unique shades: the lighter one, the purple one, this kind of dark moody looking one, and then a blue one. So I think that they really captured all of the different color schemes from this collection in those 4 Super Shock eyeshadows. I think they're absolutely stunning. They go together really well. They go on the eyes beautifully. So I am very pleased with those. The only thing I would say is just when I swatched on my hand, I think you can even see they were kind of hard to get off. I was using a makeup wipe and really scrubbing and scrubbing. So hopefully I won't have that issue as much on the eyes, but definitely on my hand, it definitely had a little bit of staining with it. That's my only complaint, I think, about the Super Shock shadows. But overall, the pigmentation and the coloration and just the fit in this collection was really great, and I was very pleased with how the Super Shock shadows turned out. The Madame Leota Glitterily Obsessed Glitter Body Gel, it is really pretty. I am loving the chunks of glitter, just the absolute beautiful shimmer and shine that this brings. The packaging is gorgeous. I love that it's based on Madame Leota. I will say it is just kind of messy. It's kind of sticky. It's definitely not going to be my go-to on a regular basis. It's very shimmery, and so it's not something you would wear on a day-to-day basis. But you know, if I'm ever going to a movie or a concert or something that I really want an extra shimmer, or I want to really match a theme, maybe even a Halloween party, I think it would be a great product for that. It's definitely my least favorite product from the collection, just because it's the one that I'm gonna reach for the least. It's not very usable to me. I probably wouldn't put it on my collarbone. I think that's probably the intended use for it. I probably would use it as maybe a fun highlight, maybe just a little bit on my eyeshadow sometimes, just because those are the places I think I would enjoy it the most. I know that's not the intended use for it, so it's probably going to be something I'm not going to reach for, but it's definitely a fun product. I think it's great. It goes really well with this collection, just not necessarily the best product for me personally. So I don't have anything bad to say about it, other than maybe just because it's a little sticky and a little messy, but that's probably the worst that I have to say about it. I think it's a cool product, and I think if it's something you're interested in, I think it'd be a great product for you. And then last but not least, of course, are the Ultra Matte Lips. These are so beautiful. I think these are perfect for fall. Of course, this collection came out here towards the end of the year, getting close to October and Halloween, and of course, Haunted Mansion is perfect for Halloween. And then these lips are perfect for the fall. I'm so excited about the beginning of autumn, and definitely a beautiful nude lip. This goes great with this brown lip liner. It is a perfect everyday kind of look. And then I love that there are two deeper and darker shades in here, a nice kind of berry plum kind of look, perfect for fall, and then this chocolatey brown. So the pigment on them, when I swatched them, was absolutely stunning. It was so beautiful. They are nice and creamy and buttery. They go on really well. I think this went on very beautifully. It is definitely matte when you apply it to the lip, so that's really nice. It kind of comes in almost like a lip gloss kind of tube, so I'm glad that it goes on matte. It's a really nice, beautiful pigment. It goes on beautifully. It feels very soft and buttery on the skin as well, and on the lips. I barely feel like I'm even wearing anything, so I'm really excited to get to play with the other two shades and get some darker lip shades, maybe when I have a little bit of a lighter eye look. Of course, I don't really care. I like to make up the rules. I'll wear a dark lip with a dark eye any day, but definitely to be able to kind of play around with the palette, create different looks, and then create different lip looks with them as well. But I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I honestly have nothing bad to say about the lips. The lip shades, I think they are a great purchase, especially if you like those kind of dark vibes for the fall. I think you would really enjoy these. They're a great product. They smell good, they feel good, and I really don't have anything bad to say about those at all. So overall, I thought this was a great collection. They hit the nail on the head with all of the packaging, all of the theming. It is so beautiful, and I definitely would recommend. I know I saw this collection when it first came out, maybe a year or two ago. I don't remember when it was, and I really wanted it. I just wasn't in a place to be able to order it at the time, and I was really sad when I started seeing videos of people using it and just seeing how beautiful it was. So when they relaunched this collection, I knew I had to order it right away. So I was waiting on launch day, and I definitely went ahead and just hit order as soon as I could. It is so beautiful. I'm so glad I went ahead and picked it up, and I definitely would highly recommend this collection. Definitely run, don't walk, go get this one as long as they have the supplies still available, because I think it's a great collection. Beautiful. If you are a fan of Disney and a fan of Haunted Mansion, I think you would really love this one. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had an absolute ball going through the Haunted Mansion collection with you. This was so much fun. It is such a great collection, and I hope that you really enjoyed this video, seeing a tutorial using all of these products, the swatches, and hearing my review of it. I would love to hear from you also. Have you picked up this collection, and what are your thoughts about it? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you would like to see more makeup tutorials and more makeup reviews, then please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, let's be kind to each other, beautiful to ourselves, and never afraid to make up the rules.